Hello everyone. In today's session, we will be studying parameter passing techniques, so that are call by value and call by reference. Next, passing arrays to functions and passing strings to functions. Let us start with a topic call by value. So this is the first parameter passing technique, that is call by value. In call by value method, the value of the actual parameter is copied into the formal parameters. In other words, we can say that the value of the variable is used in the function call in the call by value method. So whenever we are calling a function, we are going to pass the values. So that is nothing but call by value method. In call by value method, we cannot modify the value of actual parameters by the formal parameters. The formal parameters which are getting the values from the actual parameters cannot modify the original value of the actual parameters. In call by value method, different memory is allocated for actual and formal parameters, since the value of actual parameter is copied into the formal parameter. Whenever you use this call by value technique for argument passing, so that time separate memory will be allocated for actual and formal parameters. The actual parameter is the argument which is used in the function call, whereas formal parameter is the argument which is used in the function definition. As we know, the argument which is used in a function call is the argument. The parameter which is used in the function call is called as argument, and the parameter which is used in the function definition is called as formal parameter. So here you can see an example. We are calling a function my function and we are passing some values, value 1 and value 2. So here the value 1 and value 2 are having the values 10 and 20 initially. Next, so when you pass these values to the called function, this formal parameters which are declared in a function definition of this called function will get a copy of this actual parameters or arguments. So that time this x and y are going to receive the copy of this arguments. Next, whenever you make changes to this formal parameters, here x and y value are 10 and 20 at this point of time. Next, you are modifying the value of x to 40 and value of y to 50. So at that point of time, only the x and y values are get modified. It is not affecting the actual parameter value. Here you can see value 1 and value 2 will be unaltered. So these value will be having 10 and 12 only. Yes, only x and y value will be having 40 and 50. Whenever you make changes with respect to these formal parameters, is not going to reflect in actual parameters. Here one more example we'll see. Here we are having a function change. In main function, one variable is declared and it is initialized to 10. That is x is having value 100. We are having printf statement, that is before function call x is equals to %d the value of x. So here this line will be printed on the screen. In output you can see here before function call x. So what is the original value of x here? It is 100. It is printed. Next, what you are going to do here, you are calling a function change. And along with the function call, you are passing some value. Here you can see this is the call by value method. Here you are passing the value of x. Here the control will be moved to this function change. Here this num variable will be getting the value of x. So the value of x is 100. This num value will get the value of x, that is 100. Next, it will execute all the statements within this change function. So here printf statement is there. Before adding value inside the function num is equals to %d. Here, so this line will be get printed on the screen. The second line you can see. Before adding value inside the function num is equals to 100. Here, as this num has received the value x, the value of x was 100, so it is displaying 100 here. Next, what operation you are performing here? You are adding 100 to this num value. What is the original value of this num? It is 100. So you are adding one more 100 to this num, and whole thing will be stored in num only. So now the num variable is having the value of 200. 100 plus 100 is 200. Next, this line will be get printed on the screen. After adding value inside the function num is equals to %d. What is the latest value of this num? It is 200. Here you can see this line is printed, that is after adding value inside the function num is equals to 200. Yes, all the statements within this change functions are over. Next, it will be returning back to the calling function. Here it will be returning, and this line will be get printed. Here, after function call, x is equals to %d. Here you have to observe what will be printed as an output. Here you can see after function call x is equals to 100 it is printing. It is not printing 200 because you have made change with respect to this num. Okay, but so this is not, this formal parameter value is not going to affect this actual parameter value. This x value is 100 only. So this is how the copy of this actual parameter will be passed to the formal parameter. But this actual parameter and formal parameter will be having two different memory locations. Whatever changes you make with respect to this formal parameter will not be affected in the value of actual parameter. Hence it is 100 only. Next, we'll move on to the second technique of argument passing, that is call by reference. In call by reference, the address of variable is passed into the function call as the actual parameter. In previous technique, we have passed the value. In this technique, we are passing address of the variable. The value of actual parameters can be modified by changing the formal parameter since the address of the actual parameters is passed. Here, by making use of formal parameters, you can change the actual parameter values as you are passing the address of actual parameters to the formal parameters. In call by reference, the memory allocation is similar for both formal parameters and actual parameters. All the operations in the function are performed on the value stored at the address of the actual parameters, and the modified value gets stored at the same address. So here, as you are passing the address of actual parameter to the formal parameters, whatever changes you make with respect to these formal parameters will get reflected in actual parameters. because there are no separate memories allocated for this actual and formal parameters. These formal parameters will be pointing to the memory of this actual parameters. Let us see how it is. Here one example we have taken, that is in first step we have declared and initialized two variables a and b. A we have initialized it to value 10, b initialized to value 20. So that you can see A is allocated with some memory with some address and 10 value is stored in A. B is allocated with some memory and it is having some address and 20 value is get stored in B. In second step, what we are going to do, here we are trying to store address of A in some variable X. Here this ampersand represents it is address. So address of variable A we are trying to store in some variable. Here you can see this is new type of variable you are seeing. So the variable along with the symbol asterisk. So the variable along with this asterisk is nothing but a pointer variable. Whenever you want to store address of any variable, the address of variable should be stored in a pointer variable. So this is how you are going to declare a pointer variable. Pointer variable are declared with a asterisk symbol. Here you have stored address of A in X pointer and address of B is stored in pointer Y. Means what? This X is pointing to the address or memory location of A and this Y, as you can see this here, Y is pointing to the memory location of B. When you store this address, so these values, these variables will be pointing to the address of A and this Y variable will be pointing to the address of B, that is memory location of B. Next, in third step, what we are going to do, we are altering the value of X. We are trying to initialize this value 11 to X and 22 to Y. What happens? Here separate memory are not allocated for this X and Y. Instead, this X and Y are pointing to the memory location of A and B. Hence, whatever value you make change here X is being changed, X is being written as 11 and Y is being written as 22. Hence, the original value of this A will be erased and 11 is stored in A and this 20 is erased and 22 is stored in B. Here you can see, as these are pointing to the memory location of A and B, whatever changes you make with respect to this X and Y will change the actual values of A and B. We'll see an example. Here the same example we have taken. We have written some function change and here is the main function. In main function we have taken a value of X as 100. Next here we have a printf statement. Before function call X is equals to the value of X here is 100. So that will be printed before function call X is equals to 100. Next here we are calling a function change. Here slight change what we have made is, here instead of passing a value we are passing an address. Here we are not directly passing value of X, but we are passing the address or a reference of this X. So next this is going to execute this change function. Here address of X is stored in pointer variable num. So star num we have declared here, so that num is going to have the address of X. Next this line will be printed on the screen as the output. Before adding value inside function num is equals to the address of num. The value of num is get copied into this num. Means this num variable is pointing to the memory location of this x. So what is there in that x? It is 100. Hence, so that will be printed here. Here you can see before adding value inside the function num is equals to 100. Next, what you are going to do here? You are performing this assignment operation. What is that? Num is equals to num plus 100. Here you are going to add 100 to this memory location. So as it is directly pointing to the memory location of x, so whatever value you assign to this pointer will make changes with respect to that memory location. Hence, so that 100 will be erased and it will become 200. Next, this line will be printed. After adding value inside function num, so num variable will be getting 200, that is printed here. You can see after adding value inside function num is equals to 200. Once it is completed, it will return back to the main function. Here this line will be printed. After function call, x is equals to the value, latest value of x was 200, so that is printed here, that is 200. Because whenever you make change here with respect to formal parameter, it is going to reflect in actual value of actual parameter. So that is the change here. Here you can observe the value of x after modifying formal parameter was 100 only, but here after modifying the formal parameter, the value of x is 200, because both actual and formal parameters will be pointing to the same memory location in call by reference technique. So here we'll see the difference between call by value and call by reference. In call by value, a copy of value is passed into the function. In call by reference, an address of value is passed into the function. In call by value method, changes made inside the function is limited to the function only. The values of the actual parameters do not change by changing the formal parameters. As we have seen, whatever changes you make with respect to the formal parameters will not reflect in changes of actual parameters. The changes made inside the function validate outside of the function also. The values of the actual parameters do change by changing the formal parameters. Whenever you change the formal parameter value, it is reflected in actual parameters value. Next, actual and formal arguments are created at the different memory location. As formal parameters are receiving a copy of actual parameter, there will be separate memory locations for this actual and formal parameters in call by value method, whereas actual and formal arguments are created at the same memory locations in call by reference. Here there are no two separate memories allocated for actual and formal arguments. So there will be single memory which are pointing by this formal parameters. Hence, whatever changes you make with respect to formal parameter will get reflected in actual parameters. So these are some of the differences between call by value method and call by reference method. So till now we have seen how we are going to pass a value to a function and how we can pass a reference or address of a variable to a function. In another method, we can also pass arrays to the function. How we can achieve this? So there are certain rules in order to pass an array to a function. Whenever you want to pass array to a function, the function call must have an array name. Here you can see calling function. So you will be calling a function with the function name. and as an argument you should pass array name without a subscript. Here you can see no subscript is been added here. Only array name can be passed as an argument. Next, in function definition, you have to declare a array name along with a subscript here. So this is the function definition. So where you will be writing the type of the array followed by array name and subscript. So this is how you are going to write a function definition. And how should be the function declaration when you want to pass array to a function. Here function should be declared with some return type followed by function name, and you can only write a type or type along with array name. Whenever you are writing an array name, it should include subscript. So this only you can write a type, or else whenever you are writing an array name, you have to follow this. We'll see an example how we can pass an array to a function. Here we have declared one method, that is sort array. Here in our function we are calling a sort array function by passing an array. Hence, so the function declaration should have an array type formal parameter. Hence you can see this is the array type. Next, coming to main function. Here we have initialized one array, so that is with the name ARR of size 5. Some elements are stored in this array, that is 0, 5, 7, 1 and 3. Next we are calling a function and we are passing this array. You can see only array name is written here. So this function is called along with passing this array. When you call this function, the control will be passed here. Here in this sort array definition, you are receiving this array in some array type variable, so that is A. Here, so this is the function definition. Here you have declared an array where this array is received in this A array. So next we have declared some variables I, j and temp. Here we are using some for loops. So this is nothing but a sorting technique we have written, so that is bubble sort. So we will be checking each and every element. If first element is less than second element, we are going to swap. Okay, here how the operation of sorting is been done. After the execution of sorting, we are printing the array. So that is what we have used this code. So once this sort array function completes the execution, the control will be returned back to the function. So this is how we can pass array to the function. Here you can see in function call you have only used array name. In function declaration you have only used the type. Next, in function definition you have used the array name along with the subscript. So this is about passing array to a function. Next, we can also pass string to the function. The basic rules of passing strings to the functions are: first one, the string to be passed must be declared as a formal parameter of the function when it is defined. So whenever you want to pass a string as an argument, how should be the function definition? Here the function definition should declare the string. In C, strings are nothing but considered as a character array. So this is how you will be declaring the string in function definition. So this is a type of the string, that is character array it is, and string name is nothing but item name along with a subscript. Second rule is what? Function declaration should also have a string name. Here function declaration or prototype should show that argument is a string. Means, so whenever you are passing strings as argument for any function, in function declaration you should show the formal parameters are string. Hence you have to declare that string in this prototype, this function prototype, that is char string. Str, this is the string name along with the subscript you have mentioned. Third rule is function call should have string array name without subscript. Yes, so as we have seen in passing array to the function, so there also function call was having array name as an argument. Here in this string passing, again the function call should have array name, and you should not here specify the subscript. Only string names can be passed as argument. Here you are calling a function display, but you want to pass string as argument, so that time this names is a string. Okay, so this names is been written without any subscript. So this is how you can pass string to as a argument for the called function. So this is about parameter passing techniques, that is call by value and call by reference, and we have already also studied passing arrays to the functions and passing strings to the functions. Thank you.